Touchdown, Nebraska.
Now outside Mississippi, blocked. Kalen Hoare, Whitney Lonstein. That's a combined 13 feet of humanity. We're tied at 19 in Lincoln.
Snap back to Casey. Throws downfield looking for Trey Palmer. He goes up, and did he hang on at the 37-yard line? He did. What a grab by Trey Palmer.
Beautiful pass, back set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom! 19-18, Big Red.
Chancellor Brewington in the game. The block, they fake the handoff. Casey rolls out, flips it out in the flat. Brewington makes a catch. He's going to go down to the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska. Little roll out, flip to Chancellor Brewington, and he scores. It's his second career Husker touchdown.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And here we are back after a victory on Saturday. How about that? Feels good.
That
right?
was so much fun. Oh, my gosh. And it was just so good to see the players, the coaches on the sideline having fun, enjoying themselves. And really from start to finish, it just they were having fun playing the game that they love again. And it was just so good to see. And I've said it over and over again. This has been one of my favorite, if not my favorite, teams that I've been able to be around and cover in my entire career. And so I just, from that standpoint, was happy for these guys as people, even as much as being a fan of the program.
And I think it was really important how they won the game.
Yes.
Because it was still in doubt going to the fourth quarter. It wasn't a runaway where it was over by halftime. They had to dig deep and do something that this program hasn't done very well late, and that's finish a game and get a win.
And overcome adversity that happened. You know, they were in cruise control looking pretty good, and then those last few drives, few series of the second half, they had to respond to that, and haven't always seen that out of this team either. So the way that they came out of halftime and the defense shut them down, and then the offense overcame some of their issues, I thought, yes, were there some issues that need to be cleaned up? Yes, but you have to think about the wins even within the wins. Jeremiah and I talked a lot about that, the wins within the win that lead to a win, and the wins of being able to finish and being able to overcome and fix some things that at times this team hasn't always done. So yeah, that was hugely positive for me, the way that they went into halftime and came out and made some of those adjustments.
Love the defense. 290 yards is all Indiana had. 71 in the second half. That's all they had, 71 yards.
And if you take away those last two drives, what was the total? I mean,
probably under 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the minus those last two drives by the defense in the first half, but again, the way that they came out, but they were flying around, and they were, that was one thing that Bill Bush kept coming up to the guys and saying, keep flying around. And we heard that a lot. You know, they wanted to be able to simplify things and let these guys go play. And I think the team really embraced that. And they went out there and they just played and they flew around, and they were rewarded by it because of the outcome, but also the way that they were able to really shut down in some big moments, shut down the Indiana offense. That wasn't a bad offense that they performed pretty well against.
The last three drives for Indiana, 17 yards. That's all they had. When they needed to try to go get something done, the defense said, nope, not tonight, not going to happen. Love what I saw, the effort. I think everybody that was at the game, watching the game, listening to the game, appreciates the effort they saw the guys play with. It was kind of hair on fire type of football, which we haven't seen a lot of. So good for the guys. I think the message has been sent and received by the defensive players.
Absolutely. And we'll see how they build off of that, right? It's all about building. You can't, and that is, how many times have we heard Mickey Joseph and these players talk about the 24-hour rule? You know, it all isn't fixed by one game. And in fact, as good as it was to come out with the win, all of them said there's lots of things we need to correct and get better at still. But how do you build off of that and get better even from that? But it is a lot easier to continue to get better and improve when you have a win and you're stacking from a win, not a loss.
Absolutely. We knew there would be some personnel changes. I think there weren't as many as maybe I thought we might see, but the one big one was Malcolm Hartzog, who the league recognized today as the freshman of the week.
Yeah, and I got a chance to talk with him after the game, and man, happy for him, and that's what they need. If things aren't going well, you got to have other guys that you can, the next man up, right? Okay, let's see what this guy can do, and he handled it so well, and for him to be there to get that scoop and score, and Chris Kolarevic to be the one that blocked the punt after everything he's been through and done for this team. And so, yeah, I thought Malcolm rose to the occasion. And, just going back to signing day last year and some of these guys that they brought in, you got the sense that, that this coaching staff and even these players, they weren't going to be scared or intimidated, the players to come in and play if they were needed to, or the coaches to call on them. It just seemed like, there was some talent, some caliber talent that would be able to see the field pretty quickly. And so I think it's just a matter of getting them out there. And boy, Malcolm made the most of his opportunity.
Sure did. And I kind of remember on signing day, he was one of my little dark horses. I just loved his tape. I loved what he did in high school. Not sure that I expected that he'd have an impact this fall, but man, I was happy for him to be able to do all the things. They picked on him. They went after him a lot, threw a lot of passes to guys that he was on. He was up to the task.
I mean, him and Quentin Newsom stepped up too, and it's funny because I taped the podcast with Jeremiah today, and we playing off the game ball with Trev, who would be your game ball. There's so many guys that could get a game ball. I mean, if you go through both offense and defense, there's a lot of guys that you could give a game ball to.
Absolutely.
Who would you give your game ball to?
Well, I know it went to Mickey, but
I know, but if you had one game ball to give to a player, I guess.
Hard not to go with AG. I mean, Anthony was a warrior. 32 carries in the game, over 100 yards. He really and hard runs, tough runs, breaking tackles. I thought Isaac Gifford played a heck of a football game.
Yes, he did.
We called his name a bunch. I think he ended up being the leading tackler. Push come to shove, I'd probably go Anthony Grant.
Yeah, I mean, the list is very, very long. I thought that Trey Palmer could have a breakout game. I know he's done a lot of good things, but we haven't really seen him really blow the lid off like he did. And he made some big-time catches when, they needed it. Casey trusted to throw the ball to him. But I'd probably have to go with someone on defense. I probably would lean towards Luke Reimer. I think he has maybe had a little bit of a tough go at the first few games, and I know it's been hard for him to not be playing alongside Nick Henrich and figuring some things out. And he was not healthy and coming off of that, and so for him to come up with the takeaway, and they were so solid inside, and so I don't know. I mean, again, you really couldn't go wrong with a number of different players. Jeremiah gave one of his to Hunter Anthony for coming in and being on that right tackle side. Brant Banks could have been a guy.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys that you could give your game ball to. So if you're listening in, who would you give your game ball to?
Trey Palmer had 8 catches Saturday, 10 against Oklahoma, so 18 catches in the last 2 games for Trey Palmer.
And already had set a record for the first 4 games for a receiver and how many receptions they've had. So I think he's just now starting to get really going. And I think he really could be one of the elite receivers, not just in this league, but in the country.
All right, folks, this show's yours tonight. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question if you want to be a part of the program. We're here until 8 o'clock tonight. We will play some clips from Mickey Joseph's press conference earlier today. Normally it's going to be on Tuesday, but because the Huskers play Friday night, everything's backed up a day, so he met with the media today. We'll play you some of the highlights of that. Jessica caught up with Luke Reimer after the game. We'll play you that conversation coming up in the second hour. We'll have our weekend winners for you later on in the program as well. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Let's go to the phones. We'll start in North Platte. Jim, good evening.
Well, good evening to you both. Talking about defenses, I thought our defense played a super job Saturday night. And I went to that North Platte, Omaha West side. The Bulldogs stopped their running back on the 2-yard line with about 5 seconds left in the ball game. So North Platte's defense won that game. And I guess the only thing I was real disappointed in like 12 to 15 penalties, we can still make it to a bowl game. Go Big Reds. Well, you both have a good week. Take care.
Jim, appreciate that. And I think, absolutely. There's still 7 games left. I think this team feels good. Hopefully they can carry that momentum to Friday. And, the defense, you had to just love their effort and their fight in the entire game the other night. Kathy sent a late text in a Big Red reaction. Love Kathy from Alliance. I didn't get on the air because she sent it too late, but I do want to read it because she capsulizes a lot of this. Says, I can't get through, so I'm sending a text. Here were her thoughts. Coach's energy and coaching kids on sidelines, especially Coach Joseph. He was so engaged. Seeing Trev Alberts on the sideline encouraging players and coaches. The locker room after the game, it made me cry. I was so happy for those kids and coaches. The crowd was great, and I loved our players such as Garrett Nelson who were encouraging the crowd noise with their arms throughout the game and on the sideline. I loved all of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was so fun to see, and it just seemed like a huge weight was lifted off the shoulders of players and coaches. I mean, I had talked about this too, but seeing Mike Dawson and Barrett Ruud, and they were having fun too. You know, at the end they had their arms around each other and were smiling, and even the way that Barrett Ruud was interacting with his linebackers, I mean, they were having fun and having a good time. I just think, again, when you're playing like that, it's easier to have fun, and they just were enjoying themselves. And again, from players to coaches, Bill Bush was just electric, I mean, just up and down the sideline, so much energy, and it's hard for that not to be contagious, and so I thought, and going back to the communication part too that we had heard so much about, it was really cool seeing the communication going on between Coach Bush and the defensive coaches, and they were all talking about what they see, what they could do. Hey, here's what we do. So it wasn't just Bill Bush saying, hey, let's do this. I mean, it was a collective effort, and I think Bill Bush alluded to that going into the game, that he was going to rely on them to do that. And so I think they were all overall, just again, when you perform like that, and after everything they've been through, for them to come out and play like that, it just allows for them to play a little bit free and to enjoy themselves, playing the game that they love.
Jeremy, in Texas, on our text line, Casey had a good game, rushed, but threw a couple TDs, got benched, came back and made up for it. And I think that's something. Mickey Joseph sat him down, didn't like that he had a couple of penalties for intentional grounding, took a sack that maybe he probably shouldn't have taken, and I think he responded to that. And sometimes a little pine time does that for you, right? Put him on the bench for a while.
Yeah, and Casey talked about it today in his press conference. Mickey Joseph talked about it. I actually talked to Charles, Casey's dad, after the game, same thing, and he said that he was getting text messages about, because they showed it on TV, and then I also had reported on it that Mark Whipple and Mickey Joseph got after Casey, and Casey wants that, but also that's what Charles was saying, hey, it's not any worse than any butt chewing I ever gave him growing up, starting from the time he picked up his first football. That's how he responds. And so, and all these coaches, you coach them hard, you love them hard. And so I think Casey will respond to that. And he did, obviously. That's the kind of coaching he's had literally since he started playing the game, because that's what his dad did with him. And so, I think Casey responded just almost, I think, exactly what his dad would say, how you expected Casey to respond. All right, go think about it, see what you did, and then come back and be better for it.
Set to Kearney. Randy, you're up next on Sports Alley. Good evening. Hey, Randy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Well, I didn't know what to think about at the end of the first half, but the way that defense showed up, I was like, wow, they annihilated them. And I got a comment about Corcoran getting two back-to-back unsportsmanlike penalties. I could see playing aggressive, but don't be so obvious about it. And if anybody on that team gets a dumbass award, it'd be him. And I think he needs to be benched for a few games. That's about all I got.
All right, thanks, Randy. I know that Nebraska coaches are objecting to the penalty call on Turner. They've sent it into the league office. They're awaiting some word back from the league office.
Turner is a very, very smart guy. He will learn from that. I bet it killed him because you've talked to him. He's a great guy. He's a team guy. Look what he's done. a lot of guys could be pretty selfish. No, I just want to stick at this one position, but he's moved around, played all over the line. He will be better for it. He will be. I do think the first penalty, just again, seeing the reaction on the sideline, hearing from players and coaches, then also talking to Jeremiah about it. First penalty probably should not have been a penalty.
Right.
But the second one, and that's what Jeremiah was saying, you got to be smarter about that. You just got one. They're going to have eyes on you.
Right.
Now the problem is they're going to have eyes on him from here on out.
Yeah.
Because that will be something that the refs go in and say, hey,
watch
69.
This.
Yes, last game he got thrown out for an unsportsmanlike conduct. Is the same thing that happened to Cam Jurgens a year ago. He had his numbers. That's what refs do. They go in, they talk about some of the guys to watch out for. They're going to be watching Turner very closely now, so he's going to have to be smarter moving forward.
Let's go to Fort Benning. And Ryan, good evening. You're up next on Sports Alley.
Hey, how you guys doing? I just tuned in, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I think we're talking about the same thing here with Turner, who got kicked out of the game. Is that correct?
Yes.
I just want to emphasize here real quickly that having a violent player on the football field at the University of Nebraska isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. And I say that because our players need to have a sense of violence. That's the one step up from being mediocre, is aggressiveness to the point. If something happens like that, I'm a little bit concerned, and I was wondering if you had heard anything from the coaching staff about how they're going to be able to say that aggressiveness is okay. How do they keep up the aggressiveness? We certainly don't want him to come back out there and be softer because of this. And like I said, I want Turner to balance back being violent. Let him continue. And don't get penalized for it. And that's all I have to say about that matter.
All right, Ryan, appreciate it. No, I think, and Jessica just said this a moment ago, I don't think the coaches have any issue with the first penalty. He was defending Casey, who had his face mask yanked, so he's trying to get guys off of his quarterback. And I think the guy kind of stumbled backwards when he kind of pushed him off the pile.
To me, it looked like Trey Palmer had more push than Turner did.
I agree. The second one, though, that's on Turner, and because you just got the first one, it amplified the second one.
You have to be careful. Once you get one, they are watching you like a hawk. You have to be smarter about it. So, unfortunately, that cost him being able to play the rest of the game. But fortunately, Brett Banks came in and did pretty well. Yeah. And so he got some reps, and now you know that maybe you can call on him again if that situation ever arises, or even maybe at right tackle, or so unfortunate. But Turner will be, of all the players on the offensive line, to me, Turner is one of the guys you don't worry about being better from it and learning from it. And I mean, just again, I think he will make sure that he does not allow that to happen again, because he does not want to hurt this team.
Right. Visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November 4th. Get yourself a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin football game in Lincoln on November 19th. Plus, you get pregame tailgates. See participating AGCO locations across Nebraska, and you could be a winner this season. 402-413-2400, the number to call or fire off a text. We're back with more of your calls and some clips from Mickey Joseph's press conference earlier today. That's coming up next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It's a Monday night, a victory Monday night, right after the Huskers 35-21 victory over Indiana Saturday night. Huskers now 1-1 in league play. So is everybody else in the West, except Wisconsin. And the Badgers are 0-2, and they fired Paul Chryst yesterday. Amazing, crazy stuff. All right, Mickey Joseph had a press conference today. It's time for our GoCurrency.com Husker football practice report. And he talked about trying to get geared up for a short week with a game on Friday.
Indiana was one game now. The sign of a good team is who can move forward and get to the next one. We have a 24-hour rule, so it's 24 hours, and now we're on to Rutgers. The schedule is going to be accelerated because we're going to, we got to move some days up because we're going to leave on Thursday. We're going to leave Thursday. Usually you leave on Friday, so everything has to be accelerated. So everything's going to be pushed up a day before it's practice. So we're doing it. We're doing that right now. Appreciate the coaches and the players for adapting to what we're trying to do.
Huskers will do it again late in the year. The Iowa game is always a 1 day less prep as well, so they'll get used to this pretty quick. Toughness. Kind of one of the themes of the press conference today was toughness. Nebraska showed toughness. Casey Thompson showed some toughness. Here's Mickey Joseph talking about how tough his quarterback is.
Casey's tough. Casey comes from a tough family. Charles raised tough kids. He's from Oklahoma City, but Casey's been tough. He's been getting hit, but he's been getting up. He's been getting up. When he was down on the turf, he took my arm. He said, "Hey, Mick, I'm going back in the game." I said, "Okay. That's what I expect you to do." They know I want him to be tough.
Yeah, when Casey went down the last time, it was pretty scary. I think a lot of people were not sure if he would be able to go back in after that. But, boy, he came right back out, went right up to – I saw it happen. He threw a couple balls, I'm good, and went back up to Mickey because the defense was out on the field. Chubba was warming up, and then he came out, he threw it, I'm good. I mean, that is a tough guy. I mean, he's gotten thrown down and gotten back up. And, yeah, I mean, talking about going back to when I was talking to Charles after the game, and Casey's also got an older brother that also beat up on him too. So he is definitely battle tested his entire life to be able to take some hits.
And it fires teammates up when they see their quarterback bounce up and go, "Let's go."
Yeah.
Fires everybody up.
Yeah, for sure.
The defense, we've talked a lot about it in the opening segment, how much better it was Saturday night than it had been in the first 4 games. Here's the coach talking about some of the differences he saw.
We talked about it last week. We said what we're going to do. Get them lined up. Get lined up. That's the big thing on defense. Just get them lined up. My brother Vance yesterday, he got his team to line up. When you can get them lined up, now they can recognize what's going on and recognize formation. That's the big key, recognizing what's going on, but you got to recognize the formation. So I thought they lined up there and they played with their hair on fire.
That's what I saw. Just a lot of guys running to the football. It just seemed like there was more activity on the field than we've seen the first couple games.
Yeah, and you're going to hear from Luke Reimer here in a little bit talking about this, but him and Nick have played a lot of football together, and a lot of they're the quarterbacks of the defense, and they do a lot of the communication, right? And they don't have to speak to each other at all because they've played so much football together. And so I think that too also helps when you've got guys that and Jeremiah goes into this on our podcast this week about even just playing on the offensive line. When you've played with somebody that long, you just know how to play beside them. That also helps them communicating with the rest because they're not having to communicate with each other, so they can use that time to communicate with other people. But yeah, I thought they just the message was received on what they wanted to do is get to your spot and then run and go make a play. And so I think a lot of them talked about it being simplified, and so they got to their spots and then they were able to just fly around.
Malcolm Hartzog, he got a start Saturday night, the true freshman from Mississippi. Then today he got named as the Big Ten's Freshman of the Week. Here's the coach talking about his young man from the South.
That's a great honor for Malcolm, but we do everything around here with the team. So Malcolm, he couldn't pick that fumble up unless CK blocked it. CK wouldn't have blocked that punt unless we had rush from tagging the rest of the boys. So it was a team thing, but we're happy for Malcolm, and we knew Malcolm was going to be a good player. We just had to bring him along, but he's a good player. He's a good young player.
Also, talking with players after the game, he's a guy, Malcolm, that I don't think anybody was surprised he played the way that he played because he's obviously shown it in practice, but he also seems like a kid that's really well liked in the locker room too. Like, when I was interviewing him, a lot of them coming up and giving him a hard time, recording him while he was doing the interview. Marcus Washington, was John Emmett a little bit just lovingly talking to him, and so he just seems like a kid that's well liked as well, and that's also important too for him to be able to go out there and have the trust of the guys he's playing alongside too.
He was not here for spring, right? He got here in June?
I don't know. I
don't think he was here for spring. Is there any way we could check that? I don't remember, but I don't think he was. I think this was a guy that got here after his senior year of high school, and to be able to do that and then get on the field in Game 5, pretty amazing. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think he was.
Was he on your spring game depth chart?
I don't have it anymore. Threw it away. Pitched it. All right, Anthony Grant, 32 carries. Remember I told you folks that toughness was kind of a theme of the press conference today. Well, one of the last snaps of the game was Anthony Grant throwing a lead block for Casey Thompson to score a touchdown. Here's the coach's reaction to that.
It shows you that this team has bought in about being physical on both sides of the ball. That was what, play 80? Yeah, that was snap 80. And you didn't see, I said it was a team thing. You seen Brewington come across, and he knocked this guy, right? He knocked this guy off, and then Anthony let up in case he was able to walk in the end zone. But it just shows you that they're trying to be physical. Don't worry if it's play 1 to play 80, that we're going to stick our face in the fan.
Yeah, that was so good to see. At about that point, Matt and I are kind of looking at each other like, I think maybe it's time to get AG out of the game or stop giving him the ball. 32 carries is a lot of carries. And then Mickey today said, he goes, we had to tell him today to go get treatment. He's like, oh, Coach, I'm sore. Well, go get treatment. Yeah, you should be sore. 32 carries.
I think that speaks a lot about how he's just his entire career. That's what he's used to, and I think he wants that. But this is the first time that he's like, okay, I'm a little bit sore. And it's probably, I mean, again, nothing against junior college. It's just so different. You know, it's just not the same resources. So he probably didn't even think like, hey, maybe I should, and you know, massages are made available too. Like there's a lot of things that you can do to recover that aren't necessarily always available at junior college. So I'm sure he probably just, this is the first time in a while that he's felt like, hey, I'm a little bit sore. And so I think that says a lot, because a lot of times players are sore after every game. And so for the fact that this might be the first time that he's like, man, I'm really sore.
He probably was like, well, I didn't have anything broken, so I don't need to go see the trainer. I don't have a broken bone or broken ankle, didn't roll an ankle, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Are you sore? Oh, yeah. Well, get in there. That's what that thing's all for. All right, we'll wrap up with this. Coaches certainly get wrapped up in the game. And so I don't know if Mickey saw this or not, but night games at Memorial Stadium were so cool because of the light show that is done at the end of the third quarter. So the coach got asked today, what'd you think of the big light show?
The light show. Oh, the 4-quarter light show? Oh, yeah, it's nice. I mean, I was trying to do about the light show. I mean, yeah, it was nice. I think it's nice. I think, you know, I got other things on my mind than that light show, you know.
You know, it's funny, too, because I noticed this as well. In the past couple of games that the light shows happen, everybody's been up jumping around. And this time, boy, they had a huddle. They were all huddled up at the beginning of that timeout, and then they were locked in and focused. It was a big series that was coming up right out of the timeout. And so, like, some of the walk-ons and the players that were not in uniform were up jumping around, but for the most part, that team was locked in this time. And they were really in on paying attention to what the coaches were having to say. They were not paying attention to the light show much this week.
I thought it was great again. Just so cool.
Oh, I mean, it's awesome.
There is an aerial picture from the stadium. Have you seen it?
Yes.
On social media. What a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's so cool when the lights first go out and just the cell phone lights are on.
Yeah.
And then, it's so neat.
Pretty cool stuff. Hey, our practice report has been presented by Currency. Does your business need a quick, easy, and secure financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? Well, all you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. All right, phone lines, text lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Sunday hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands, a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More of your calls and texts coming up next.
Shop Woodhouse Chevy first and experience the difference today. Whether you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV, we have you covered. Our educated sales team will guide you to the perfect vehicle with features you need to fit your lifestyle, so you can leave our lot feeling confident in your purchase. Plus, we make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at woodhousegm.com. Find a trusted auto partner and new roads at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Tonight, good pass by Kenzie. Quick attack, Caitlin Hort. Offhands Doug. Ohio State outside. Janice Moore stuffed. Husker block has shown up tonight. Whitney Lonstein, Caitlin Hort. That's about 13 feet of combined humanity.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly at 6 p.m. as we break down another Nebraska football practice report. At 7, we'll hand the reins off to the Nebraska Volleyball Radio Show. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
This is University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Colton Husa with Campus News. 26 Husker students participated in the Rural Fellows Learning Program. It's a 10-week summer internship across 16 Nebraska communities. Students work with local leaders to plan and execute community improvement projects. Past projects include water system improvements in Wahoo, early childhood education access in Ord, and farmers market and music festival management in Imperial.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue! SOS! SOS!
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you, 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. Andrew in Norfolk said, I would give the game ball to head coach Mickey Joseph, and then had a question, why does the volleyball team play the same day as the football team? Well, they didn't this weekend. They played yesterday. They did not play Saturday. John Cook likes to play home matches when the Husker football team is at home because he knows so many fans drive hours and hours to come watch both teams, and so he says, make it into one trip. He loves playing home matches when football's home.
Yeah, and especially when you play before, because then you can have recruits in.
Sure.
Come on
over here.
and then we'll go over to the football game. So, yeah.
He was not a happy coach yesterday.
Really?
Didn't like, there were some errors, some sloppiness. They won, but he was not real. He loved Friday's match. They just blew out Rutgers.
I didn't hear but I heard the producer saying in his postgame he didn't seem like he was too happy.
Yeah, not a great. But how about that? He was not happy, and they won in 4. So, still ranked third in the country. They're on the road again this weekend. The 2 Michigan schools is who they will play. Sparty on Thursday night, and then they will play Saturday against Michigan. So the football team plays Friday. They play Saturday.
It's kind of a tough swing, having
4 straight on the road.
Yep.
How about Husker soccer?
Let's go.
Good weekend.
Yes, a tie on Friday and then a win.
Got a win.
On the road and again, we've talked about that. Soccer uses RPI, and if you go in on the road, it's
should be really
helpful. And then also, the teams that they beat are at the bottom, and not everybody gets into the Big Ten tournament, so you got to beat those teams that are beneath you in the standings, and they did. They tied and beat the 2 teams that are beneath them.
They've had 3 straight road matches. At Michigan, won. At Purdue, tied. Disappointing, but you still get a point. And at Indiana, they win. That's a good little run.
Absolutely.
They are home, if you want to see them, on Thursday night. They'll play the Buckeyes, who's right there with them in the standings, 7:05 out at Hibner. So if you don't have anything else going on Thursday, head out and watch and support some Husker soccer. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office, 402-413-2400. The phone line's wide open for you. Give us a shout or fire off a text. Back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
Husker fans, join us in celebrating excellence in women's athletics. Meet student athletes and alumni from every Nebraska women's program and commemorate the 50th anniversary of Title IX at the More is Possible Rally on Saturday, October 8th at Bolin Stadium. This event will begin at 10:30 a.m. and is free for all ages. Register today at huskers.com/Title IX.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It is a Monday show after a Husker victory over Indiana, 35-21 Saturday night. Now it's a Friday night game for the Big Red, as they will play the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, who got beat up pretty good by Ohio State over the weekend. And we learned today that the next week's game at Purdue, another night game. How about that? We're going to have 3 straight night games for Husker football.
You know,
prime time.
I wonder what the players think of that, because most players like playing it. I mean, they enjoy playing underneath the lights, but a lot of them want to play at 11 a.m. They get in there and they don't like to sit around all day. But, you know, I thought it was interesting to hear Casey talking about how he likes road environments. Some players are wired that way. They like the hostile environment, the us against the world mentality. Obviously, always love playing at home and having the home crowd, but some players are fueled by that hostility. And so you got to imagine Purdue will be pretty hostile at night.
Yeah. Our players not so happy about being here late on Saturday nights.
They're not? Oh, our producers?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a late night.
He's our player. Andrew's our player.
That was a late night.
Had calls. They still were calling in 1:30 in the morning. There they were. Wanted to talk to Matt and Jay Foreman. But the mood of that show was way better than it's been. That was pretty cool to see all that. So next 2 games at night, Friday night this week, Saturday night next week at Purdue. Then it's a bye week. Huskers aren't home again till the end of the month. Long time to go. There are still some tickets available for the Illinois game. Ticket sales actually today were pretty good for getting some seats sold to Minnesota and Wisconsin. They're not sellouts, but they're close. So I'm pretty encouraged. I think the sellout streak's going to make it through 2022. And boy, Mickey and the guys can keep it going. I think that will certainly happen. Again, some of the highlights from the press conference today. Coach Joseph really happy with some different guys on the defensive side. Singled out Ty Robinson. Said he told Ty to just go back to being a beast, be what you are. Love seeing Ty sack late in the game. We called his name a couple of different times. Ty can be a really disruptive player. We haven't seen it nearly enough, but it was great to see him do that the other night.
And he was just getting complimented throughout the entire game for what he was doing. And again, sometimes defensive line, what they do, they don't always show up in the stat sheets, but it seemed like he was doing what he was being asked to do just about every time he went out there, from what I could tell in the conversations that were being had with him. And so he seemed to be another one of those guys that played freer and looked like a lot had been lifted off his shoulders. He's actually going to be our Cornhusker conversation this week. Cool. So I'll get a chance to sit down and have an extended conversation with him tomorrow. So can't wait to hear his perspective on all of it too.
Very cool. Isaac Gifford was another guy that was kind of on, well, some people wonder whether he should have been playing at all. He played a ton of snaps and played really well, and Mickey Joseph recognized Isaac today and just said he's a really smart football player, knows where to be. Because he knows where to be, he can get there a little quicker. And I thought we called his number a lot as well Saturday night.
I really like Isaac, and I think he's, again, a guy that, team guy, whatever I can do, he does not care if he's if he's getting the recognition or not. He just wants to help this team win, and he just seems, he seemed like he was absolutely playing with his hair on fire. There's been a couple games that I thought he was playing that way, and maybe not everyone else matched his level of energy and intensity, but he's come along and he played behind JoJo and studies and just knows the game so well, and it's just such a team guy that I think they're gonna have a hard time keeping him off the field.
Agreed. Hey, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. All right, coming up next hour, Luke Reimer. Jessica caught up with Luke after the game. We'll hear that conversation. More of your calls, comments, texts coming in hour number 2. We'll have our weekend winners all for you next hour as well. Our Sports Only Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse.
Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Tonight, good pass by Kenzie. Quick attack, Caitlin Hort. Offhands Doug. Ohio State outside. Janice Moore stuffed. Husker block has shown up tonight. Whitney Lonstein, Caitlin Hort. That's about 13 feet of combined humanity.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly at 6 p.m. as we break down another Nebraska football practice report. At 7, we'll hand the reins off to the Nebraska Volleyball Radio Show. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red. with the GoCurrency.com sports ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Monday, Huskers fans, coming off a big win over Indiana. Nebraska football head coach Mickey Joseph met with the media today and was asked about how he felt receiving the game ball following his first win as a head coach for Nebraska.
First of all, I want to tell you guys how proud I am of you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for how hard you've worked, gone through a lot, and all this adversity. And I can't begin to tell you how proud I am of you. Thank you for representing us so well. But tonight is about another guy. His first win.
I was happy, like I said, I was happy for the kids and the coaches. You know, I was happy for the kids and the coaches, and I'm always going to be happy for them before me, because I understand that without those guys, it wouldn't be no me. So it was a great accomplishment, but it was a great accomplishment for the entire athletic department, the entire university, the entire state. So it felt good that we was able to get the win, and people can wake up Sunday morning and go to church and have something to talk about.
And you heard from Coach Joseph earlier in hour one, and we move on from good news to sad news, unfortunately, today out of Huskers football and basketball, as Nebraska lost 3 valued members of the athletic community over the weekend. Former Huskers football center Mark Pelini, nephew of Bo Pelini, passed away tragically in a car accident over the weekend in Ohio. He was just 31 years old. Additionally, Huskers basketball star Rex Eckwall, noted for his stellar Huskers career in the 1950s, and Pinnacle Bank Arena general manager Tom Lorenz also passed away this weekend. Our thoughts, prayers, and condolences go out to each of the families, friends, and loved ones of each of the fallen Huskers, former Huskers, and Huskers employees. Elsewhere in Huskers sports, Nebraska volleyball maintained their third-place ranking in the latest AVCA polls. In the Big Ten, Purdue came in at 5, Ohio State was 6th, Wisconsin at 7, and Minnesota was ranked at 11th. Penn State clocked in at 13, and Michigan landed at number 24. Creighton also remains ranked at 21st. In pro sports tonight, some games going on currently in Major League Baseball. 0-0 Yankees and Rangers at the end of the fourth. Aaron Judge still chasing that AL record, looking for home run number 62, running out of time there to see if he can pull that off tonight. Top of the 7th, the Royals and Guardians are tied at 2. In the top of the 6th, the Cardinals lead the Pirates 2-0. In the top of the 5th, it's 4-0 Marlins over the Braves. 2-0 Reds lead the Cubs in the bottom of the 5th. End of 3, it's 3-1 Blue Jays over the Orioles. At the top of the 4th, in the top of the 4th, I should say, it's the Rays leading the Red Sox 3-0. And in the bottom of the 2nd, no score between the Diamondbacks and Brewers. In a few minutes, you'll see the Phillies and Astros start their matchup in Houston. Also at 7:10, we'll see the Twins take on the White Sox at 8:40. 3 games. It'll be the A's taking on the Angels, the Tigers battling the Mariners, and the Giants taking on the Padres at 9:10. The Rockies play the Dodgers in LA. The Nationals and Mets game has been rained out. They'll make it up tomorrow. And in the NFL in just a few minutes, it's Monday Night Football. It's a good matchup. The NFC West's foes are meeting in San Francisco. It's the Rams and the 49ers kicking off at 7:15. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Snap back. Thompson has it. Now dancing with his feet, rolling out. Looking for a man downfield. Going to take off and try to run with it. Now he scrambles back the other way. Looking, steps, throws downfield. Has Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Makes a catch. 45 of Northwestern to the 40. Weaves his way to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Bumped out of bounds. My goodness, what a play. Casey Thompson.
Side set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom. 8-7 Nebraska, set 2 after winning the first by 2.
Snap back. They give it off to Grant, right side. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska. And the Huskers have the lead back here in Ireland.
Pepperdine volleyball. Bumped over to the left. Aaron swings. Stuffed. Match point, Big Red. Kalen Hall. Kennedy Hall. 25-22. Nebraska wins it in 3.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back, hour number 2, Sports Island here after a Husker victory on Saturday over Indiana. Love to hear from you this hour, 402-413-2400. The number to dial us up with a comment or question, or you can fire off a text. We're going to be hearing from Luke Reimer. Jessica talked to him after the game on Saturday night. It was a happy locker room for the Big Red after their victory over the Hoosiers to level their conference record up at a game apiece. Now Nebraska gets ready to travel back east to Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, take on the Scarlet Knights Friday night, 6 o'clock kick. Our pregame coverage begins at 2 o'clock. Doug in Norfolk said on our text line, I thought the defense played much better over what we'd been seeing, but maybe more important, it seemed like the coaches were calling plays to keep the offense on the field. Yeah, I think it was kind of that complementary football where both sides kind of did their right thing. I know a lot of people were questioning Coach Joseph today about the last offensive series of the first half and the inability maybe to get that thing to halftime and still have the lead. But remember, that was the series that Turner had the 2 personal fouls. You're not going to be able to hang on to the ball when that happened. So I thought some of those questions you need to take into that.
They were moving.
They were, and then back
I mean, and dumb penalties.
Right.
Took it away. And then it was, what, 1st and 25 or 35?
Yep.
Because it was 1st and 10, and then it was 1st and 15.
Yep. And then it was 2nd and 18, then it was 3rd and 18.
Yeah.
So they were picking up yards, but it would come back because the foul was down the field.
But the foul that they had picked up the first down, but on both ones, right? That Turner got to move back.
Yeah.
So they were moving the ball, and they probably could have scored.
Could have finished out the
or
half.
Or could have at least kept the ball the whole time. But, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it was deflating, and we said that on the broadcast. It was deflating to go, we're tied. We shouldn't be because we've outplayed them.
Yes.
And that's where you're going, here we go again. But to this team's credit, they didn't go down that path, and they got it done in the fourth quarter.
They came back out, and they were fired up, and – you know, and I also thought, too, this was the best I've seen them. Again, you talk about complementary football. There have been times throughout games that I don't want to say frustration, but maybe just a little defeated at times when the offense goes out there and goes off quick, goes a quick 3 and out, or if the defense can't get off the field, so I think just the way that they were feeding off of each other too was also, and they had talked, a lot of the players had talked about that. We have to be better together and not just, one job, do our job. We have to feed off of each other, and I thought they did a much better job of that as well.
They did. Speaking of defense, you had a chance to talk to Luke Reimer, who had an interesting interception. He picked it off the chest of the receiver after he planted him in the ground. What a vicious hit that was.
And they were fired up about it, and Nick Henrich was just could not have been. He was the happiest guy on the sideline. It's cool to see their relationship. They played a lot of football together, and so, yeah, Luke had a really good game and chatted with him after the game in the locker room. All right, well, what kind of fire did this Nebraska defense come out with tonight?
Just a hot energy. I mean, coming off a bye week, like we kind of just had a chance to just take our breath and just kind of realize what's been going on and just kind of get a little bit of similarity with coaching and just what they expect and what new calls they're going to make. So it was just a chance for us to breathe and just kind of the chaos we had the first couple weeks. But then football's fun. Football gets you fired up, and when you're winning, it's easy to stay fired up. So it was a blast.
What adjustments did this defense make that allowed you guys to fly around like you did tonight?
Just simplified it. I mean, that's really it. We have a young defense. We had a lot of new pieces from last year to this year, transfer guys. Like it's a whole new defense personnel-wise than we had last year. So we just simplified it. They didn't have the benefit of having 7-year guys like we had last year playing the same defense for a long time. So we just simplified it and just got our feet in the ground and played. So
it all starts up front, right? How about the play of the defensive line tonight?
They played really good. Got some pressure on the QB and clogged up running lanes like that. They did their job. They're not going to always be in the stat books, but they showed up in a big way tonight, so it was fun.
All right, your interception. What a play. I mean, take me through what you saw. I mean, you just ripped it from the guy.
It was actually just kind of right place in the wrong, I messed up, honestly. Like, there was miscommunication between me and Nick of whose guy we were in. We were in man coverage, and the tight end, I think, actually was running free. So I just ended up in the right place at the right time, and I got lucky, honestly. But it was a really cool thing, and so yeah, it was fun.
You need takeaways, though. I mean, how big is that for defense?
It's huge. Takeaways are points for us. So yeah, it's always a big emphasis to get takeaways, get turnovers, interceptions, fumbles, whatever it is. So that's huge for us.
And then the special teams touchdown. How big of a momentum changer is that?
It's huge. It was you just steal 7 points by doing that. So yeah, it's obviously lifted us a huge momentum builder in the first half. So it was a good game, good fun game.
It was Chris Kolarvik who blocks it that allows Malcolm to scoop and score, and he's a guy that was inside, moved outside, moved back inside. He's a team guy, just wants to do anything for the team. You guys seem so happy for him. So what was that like seeing him make that big play?
Oh yeah, everybody loves Chris. Like, I mean, he's kind of gone through it, like, position-wise, of just flipping back and forth, different coaching, different coaches and stuff, and he's transferred. Like, he's all in for the team. He was on basically all the special teams. Like, he's a team guy, so we all love him, and we knew all week he was going to make that big play. So and he went out and made that big play. So it was fun.
And Malcolm Hartzog over at corner, how about how he played tonight and again locking up there in the back end?
Yeah, all the coaches are so high on Malcolm coming in as a freshman. He's making plays. He's earning playing time right now, and he's came up in a big way, scoring a touchdown. So it was awesome for him. Happy for him.
How much confidence can the defense take away from this? I mean, Indiana's a good offense, and they move fast, and they do some things that make things challenges for a defense. So how much can you take away from this and build off of it moving forward?
Yeah, it's all about stacking days, stacking momentum, stacking wins. So that's just what we're going to do, and that's what we're going to try to do with Rutgers. I haven't watched a lot of film on them, but I know they're a Big Ten team. They're talented, they're good, they're well coached. So it's going to be another big challenge on a short week, so we're looking forward to it.
I joked on the broadcast that I think the one person that was the happiest on the sideline when you got your big play, the interception, was Nick Henrich. So again, I mean, just the dynamic between you two. I know you're glad to have him back out there.
Oh yeah, no, and it's just like it's so much easier to play with Nick. I've just had so many banked reps playing with Nick, so it was a blast. And yeah, he's got my back, I've got his back, and so it's awesome. It's fun playing out there with him.
Appreciate your time. Great win.
Thank you.
So there is Luke Reimer, and you heard it, just the connection between him and Nick, and getting to play. I think Nick settled in a little bit coming off the injury. You're not going to feel 100%, and so for him, I think he felt a lot better too, as he seemed to feel and look like he was back closer to 100%.
Mickey Joseph told me in our post-game chat that when he got the job, one of the first guys he brought into his office was Luke, and he said, "Luke, I need you. I need you to play like you did last year. Make plays all over the field. Cut it loose. Go." I think he's played better the last couple
I think Luke was one of those guys that was playing a little tight and a little, had a lot of pressure on him. I think he was absolutely one of those players that seemed like the weight of the world was lifted off of his shoulders, and he was running around playing free. And so I think, and again, it's not what you want. You don't want to have coaching changes in the middle of a season. But at this point, you got to move forward. You have to make a choice. And I think Luke is one of those guys. He loves playing football, and he loves playing for Barrett Root. I mean, and so I think, some things were worked out, and he just was able to come in and fly around, and some of that pressure and things that maybe he was holding on to, he was able to let go of.
Nebraska 811 says, "Go dig." Right before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it is the law. Let's go to the phones, up to West Point. Husker Dan. Good evening, Dan. How are you tonight?
Hi, Greg and Jessica. How are you guys tonight?
Great.
Love your show. I love calling in when I can. I listen to it a lot, but sometimes I can't call in. But here's, first and foremost, I just thoughts and prayers to the Pelini family. What a tragedy, and
awful.
A young life taken too young and too soon. So, and then on a bright side here, this weekend I got up early to watch my Vikings play over the pond in England.
Yeah, what a game!
And I was born in '65, and they were the Purple People Eaters, and it stuck, and I've been a Viking fan since. So I love my Vikings. I love my Nebraska Cornhuskers. And what a finish. Was that crazy or what?
A little double doink off the upright for the Saints kicker, right? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was just crazy. Oh, my goodness.
Vikings are my Super Bowl pick, Dan. Did you know that?
Are they?
Yeah.
I heard that. You know what? There was one night I heard you say that, and I'm like, yes.
I was getting made fun of it, but I'm hanging with it. They're 3-1.
Come on. I'm hanging. I'm backing you on this. You never know. You know, Kirk Cousins, he's either on or he's off, but you know what? We're going to get there.
Keep the faith.
Yeah. But anyway, my last thing I want to talk to you guys about is I just love the way the special teams played this weekend against Indiana. And what a rub-off from Bill Bush. And now he's helping the defense out. And it's like, you know what? Wow. Bill Bush, I just didn't think that guy was the coach I thought he was. But you know what? It's really showing. And the other thing about the offensive line, they even made a comment during the game that they got called out, and they've been hearing all the stuff in the media and stuff that they not playing very good. I could use another word, but not playing very good. But you know what? They stepped it up too, and they really came out and played a lot better. And I'm just going to let this go, and you guys can answer me and go from here.
Thanks, Dan. Always good to hear from you. Offensive line was better at times, I thought, Saturday.
Yes, and I wanted to kind of hit on the coaching and, Joey Connors and the special teams. Brian Buschini told me that the specialists really took it. It was extra motivation for them to play well for him because they really respect him, and this is a big opportunity for him, so they wanted to do their part. And it's not just, again, watching how the interactions went down. I had mentioned this on the broadcast with Mike Cassano and the wide receivers and seeing how they interact, and then seeing how the nickels and the safeties were with Bill Bush. It was really awesome to see how the players had responded and reacted to these new coaches, because how many times have we talked about players a lot of times choose to come to play for teams because of those position coaches, and when there's moving around and the shuffling, and I think there's a lot to be said for the coaches that have stepped into other roles and how they are managing their roles, like guys like Joey and Mike, and they haven't really missed a beat. And in fact, the special teams, even not that they were bad before, but you could say they were even maybe elevated their play some too. And a lot of that was because they wanted to do it for Joey. And so, I think the way that those assistant coaches that have stepped into the interim roles and the way that the players have bought into them and their messaging has been really neat to see.
Dan, always good to hear from you. And I'm glad you brought up Mark Pelini. I've said this on the air before that it seems like things come in three, and they sure did for Husker Nation over the weekend. Mark was an undersized walk-on into the program. Jeremiah was his teammate for a couple years, and he worked his way to being a starting center. He didn't look like it. You'd pass him in the hallways, you're like, that guy's a starting center in the Big Ten Conference, but he fought his tail off, and he had that extra pressure because he played for his uncle. That was not easy because of his last name being a Pelini. People thought, well, he's getting preferential treatment from Bo. That was not the case. He was loved by his teammates. The tributes from his former teammates have been pouring out for Mark. And so, just awful news to hear that he was killed in a traffic accident in Youngstown over the weekend at the age of 31. Rex Eckwald was a terrific basketball player for the Huskers in the 1950s. Played for Fred Hoiberg's grandpa, Jerry Bush. He still has a couple of the top rebounding seasons in Husker history at 11.5 rebounds per game in the 54-55 season. I would see Rex at a lot of Husker events until recently. Haven't seen him in a couple years, but you could always see him, and always a big supporter of Husker basketball. Man, Tom Lorenz, what a gentleman he was, the general manager of PBA since it opened. Longtime association in the Lincoln community, worked at Pershing before that, and Tom was just a dear, dear guy. Trev Alberts has raved about Tom and the relationship between Nebraska and PBA. So tough times hearing those three names in the last couple days. We will miss them all. More Sports Nightly coming up.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Fahm with Campus News. Students in Nebraska's Rake School of Computer Science and Management created software that is saving a Nebraska e-commerce company 34,000 hours of work per year. Created by a group of 5 Rake School students for their Design Studio Capstone project, this software is one of 300 real-world software solutions created by Rake School students.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
The Chevy truck lineup has something for everyone. From off-road adventures to navigating the city, our trucks have the strength to take on what's next. Plus, they are durable and come loaded with purposeful features that help you work smarter and play harder. Explore the powerful Silverado with multiple trim levels available to reach your demands. Or test drive the capable Colorado and discover the next level performance it has to offer. Find new roads at Woodhouse Chevy, in-store or online anytime at woodhousegm.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Tonight, good pass by Kenzie. Quick attack, Caitlin Hort. Offhands Doug. Ohio State outside. Janice Moore stuffed. Husker block has shown up tonight. Whitney Lonstein, Caitlin Hort. That's about 13 feet of combined humanity.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly at 6 p.m. as we break down another Nebraska football practice report. At 7, we'll hand the reins off to the Nebraska Volleyball Radio Show. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red. Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
When you're a fan, you wear your team's jersey on your back and your heart on your sleeve. After a win, your world glistens. Lose, and the hurt permeates your soul. You'll always have a place with us in the Cox Fan Zone, where everyone can play and connect with other fans in a big group hug. See, in the Fan Zone, you're not some crazy fan. You're home.
Hey, Husker fans, this is Greg Sharpe, voice of the Huskers. Say Fan Zone into your Contour voice remote to play. Not at home? Visit cox.com/fanzone. Go Huskers.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics.
Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It is a Monday night after a Husker victory. Phone lines open for you, 402-413-2400. Dial us up with a comment or question. Irv and Skyler on our text line wants to know how many snaps did Indiana have. They had 67 plays. That had to be, and I haven't looked, that had to be a season low for them. So Nebraska controlled the football, controlled the time of possession, and then all those 3-and-outs. 7 3-and-outs for the defense on the game
lots
on
of
Saturday.
positives from the defense. I had a couple of comments from the chat I wanted to bring up. Jim Briggs said, I'll direct this to Jessica because Greg won't say anything, but I listened to 4 different games Saturday on the radio, and Greg, you are the best out there, no doubt. I just had to say that because you can hear in your voice that you are heads above the other announcers that I was listening to.
Very nice. Thank you.
And the other one, Crypto King, asked about what do you think they will do to get the attendance record back for volleyball? You're pushing for Memorial Stadium.
That's risky, though, right? I mean, what if it rains, if it's windy? It's hard to play volleyball in the wind. I don't know. Maybe they could rent out the CHI Center in Omaha. I think that would get it over the top of what Wisconsin did. They're talking about it. I think that those discussions are happening, and not for this season, for next fall.
It would be cool to see a volleyball match played in Memorial Stadium.
It would.
A little bit, I guess, like sand volleyball. You have to.
True.
You have to be able to manage the elements, but I don't. That's a smaller court, though, way smaller court, right? So, but I don't know. Maybe if you in the fall or the summer, a lot of times I know there's rain, but you can more so bank on a decent weather day than you could in the spring.
True. Yeah.
So.
Could be hot.
But that's all right.
Could be pretty hot out there. They don't. That doesn't bother them. You were inside of PBA Friday night. How was that?
It was awesome. It was fun. It was great to see the teams back out on the court. And, you know, I mean, Andrew and I were big basketball people, so we're excited about basketball season. So I always love getting to see that. Pretty good crowd that was there. And Waka Flocka Flame, it was hilarious watching him because he sits down on the court from the start, really, and is watching the teams, but then he was walking around taking selfies with everybody. And so, like,
how about that?
Everybody, and he even went in the crowd while he was performing, and so he was a man of the people inside PBA. He's a big dude, too. Did you see how much bigger he was than Fred Hoiberg in the picture?
Guy. He's a good-sized guy.
Yeah.
Fred's not a little dude at all.
No, he's not. So
I got a text from a member of our Husker Radio Network crew that said Andrew might have been the most excited person in the arena. Is that true?
I mean, it very well could be. There's a couple of kiddos that maybe were a little bit more excited, but Andrew was giddy about seeing basketball. He had his camera in his hand, and then also Waka Flocka Flame. So, yeah, he was a happy camper on Friday.
Well, I know the men didn't scrimmage. The women did. Anything stand out in the women's scrimmage? Andrew said some of the guys weren't giving maximum effort.
Well, you know, I think the messaging to the scout team was, don't you dare get anybody hurt.
Yeah.
And so maybe they probably pulled off a little bit too much, but I thought Allison Widener was really, really impressive. She was aggressive, got to the rim. She's going to have to do that with Sam Hybe hurt. We've got to see her being more of a getting to the rim and finisher because we're going to miss that from Sam Hybe. So I was impressed with that from Sam. I thought some of the newcomers were probably a little bit jittery and missed some shots that, you know, that they'll probably not once they get a feel for being in PBA, they'll shoot it a little bit better. And this is the first week they're practicing in PBA, which people have to keep in mind too. The depth perception was off for both teams, and so maybe a little off on the shooting for both teams. And I think Sam Griesel is going to be a really nice addition.
Good. I heard Alexis Murkowski looks great.
Yeah, she does. She really does. She's
quicker.
Yeah, she's going to be. I can't wait to see her growth from being a freshman and not really. I mean, remember she was inserted into the starting lineup because there was an injury, and then probably not really knowing how to, because she is a natural leader and she's a vocal leader, and so, but she's a freshman last year. So how does she again step into that role of more expectations and handling a little bit bigger of a role? But yeah, she looks great. You could tell she's put in a ton of work over the off season. So we'll see how it all comes together. And again, Jazz is going to have to do a little bit different role and fill some of those needs from Sam Hybe. And I would like to go to a couple of men's practices to kind of get a better feel, because it's hard to see, you know, they just did drills and stuff, so it's hard to really get a feel for that team. Right now I can't really speak to them as much, but yeah, I'm excited that it's here.
The men will have their one exhibition home game on the 23rd of October, so that is 2 weeks from Sunday. They will play Shadron State 1 o'clock at PBA. The women then the next Sunday will have their one exhibition game. They'll play Washburn also at 1 o'clock. That same day, the men will have that charity scrimmage at Colorado. Colorado came here last year for a charity scrimmage. This year Nebraska goes to Boulder, and so that will be at 5 o'clock Central Time for the Huskers men against Colorado on the 30th. So those last two Sundays of the month of October, basketball begins. Those are the exhibitions. They don't count against your season record, but it isn't very far away at all. Hey, our Sports Sunday Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Phone lines open for you, 402-413-2400. We're back with more of the show coming up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Today's Play of the Day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska Lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratch-a-rooski. He scratches left, he scratches right. Oh my, he's done it. Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field,
or in the fields. Winning isn't just a goal, it's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Time to see what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker soccer back home. Finally, they'll play Ohio State at Hibner Stadium Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Husker volleyball also in action Thursday night. They are at Michigan State. That one will first serve at 7, pregame coverage at 6:30. And Husker football also on the road this week in Piscataway, New Jersey, to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. 6 o'clock kick, 2 o'clock for pregame coverage here on the Huskers Radio Network. That is what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. 402-413-2400. That's the number to call or text. Let's go to the phone. Stay in Lincoln. And Bob, good evening, Bob. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you, guys. Hey, you know, I've never given up on this team, okay? I've always stuck with this team, okay? There's a lot of people that have gotten upset and everything because of what happened in the early in the season, okay? I've never given up on this team. And I'm going to tell you what, the defense played like I have expected them to play all year, okay? I called earlier in the week that Nebraska was going to score 49, and Indiana maybe 14, maybe 21 points, okay? Defense only gave up 14 points, okay? They played lights out. And I kept saying, special teams, I want to be special. They were special this week, okay? What a great block, scoop, and score, okay? Now, with that being said, you can laugh all you want, but that defense, they're going to be ready. And that defense plays like it played last week, and Rutgers doesn't have the offense that Indiana has. We can shut them people down, okay? And, you know, this is only game one. Only game one. Next week is Rutgers. But we get this on a roll, Big Ten championship game.
I love it, Bob.
So let's
love it.
take it one game. This is one game at a time, okay? And hey guys, guess what? There's a new sheriff in town. Not only a new sheriff, but a new deputy. You know, all these people who want new coaches, we've got our coach, okay? Just keep it on a roll. We've got our coach, okay? And wouldn't be surprised if Bill Bush became defensive coordinator. Yeah. So yeah, let's keep it going. Let's take it to Rutgers, and then we'll worry about next week, okay? But yeah, this is what I have expected all year long, and it's going. And it's going, and let's keep the wheels going, okay?
Beautiful. Thank you, Bob. Love it. Love that energy, enthusiasm. Keep it rolling. Our guys have dubbed him the party starter.
Yeah, he called in. We saw the caller ID. It said Bob Party Starter. So I could see why.
Love it. You know, and hey, sometimes it just takes a little spark. And maybe Saturday night was the spark that got this thing going for this football team. He mentioned special teams. Perfect segue. It is time now for the special teams diagnosis presented by Nebraska Cancer Specialist, Nebraska's leading community oncology practice. Brian Buschini, solid 8 punts, 39-yard average. Not a great average, but 3 of his punts inside the 20. He pinned Indiana deep a couple of times in the game, and the wind was a little bit more stiff than I thought it was going to be. It was coming out of the south pretty good. When you had to punt to the south, it was holding the ball up.
You know, and he was not happy with some of the punts he had against Oklahoma and wanted to come out and be better. And, he's been a huge addition, and he doesn't get rattled. But you want to talk about a guy that when there was a couple of stops that he was about to have to run out, when the defense had stops, he was running up and down the sideline. He was fired up too. And so he's a big team guy, and he's been a really good addition in more ways than just punting the football for this team.
Brendan Franke continues to be a great kickoff guy. 6 kickoffs, 5 of them for touchbacks. You love that. And Nebraska, for the first time this year, had a positive punt return. Trey Palmer had 3 punt returns for 37 yards with the long of 22. Great to see Nebraska finally get a punt and be able to bring it back a little bit. I still think there's a kickoff return coming sometime for this football team. So pretty good. And then the block punt, obviously, as our caller mentioned, that was a huge part of the game. You score on special teams, you got a really good chance to win a football game. Nebraska Cancer Specialist delivers compassionate, personalized, and cutting-edge care in a convenient outpatient setting. They are committed to providing exceptional care and continued support to patients, families, and caregivers. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. I mentioned all the things that are on tap. There also is going to be a big rally, Jessica, Saturday at Bowlin Stadium before the Husker softball team has an exhibition game, and this is to really have a big celebration of Title IX.
Absolutely. The More is Possible rally, it's going to be an awesome event, and it's before the Huskers play their fall game against Colorado State. And listen, I was just looking up the scores of what this Nebraska softball team has done in the fall. They have outscored their opponents. I mean, they've scored 45 runs, and they swept Kansas this weekend, 11-1 in the second game. They can hit, and so get out and see them. But also, it's such a cool, neat event that's going to happen. All the women's sports, except for volleyball, because they're on the road, are going to be out at Bowlin Stadium leading up to the game and at this event, and it's part of the celebration for Title IX. I'm going to be there, even though, I mean, we're going to get back at who knows what time, but I can't wait to get up and go to the rally. They've got those awesome T-shirts, the More is Possible T-shirts, awesome giveaways, all kinds of fun things that are happening at this rally. So register now online at huskers.com/Title IX, and you can get all the information there. But it's going to be an awesome weekend. Last chance to see softball this fall, and should be a great weekend. We're going to have Rhonda Ravel on to talk a little bit more about her team this week, but yeah, it should be a fun weekend.
And I misspoke earlier. The soccer is not Thursday. It's Saturday as well, 1 o'clock. So you could catch some softball. You could go over and watch soccer that day. So a good chance. Volleyball's on the road, so that you can't go watch them this weekend, but you can go see softball, soccer on Saturday afternoon. What time again? Does everything start at bowling?
I think, oh, sorry, I should have.
10:30.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I know the game's at, I know the game is at
noon?
12:30.
12:30.
So I will.
We'll get you the time.
Yes.
I put you on the spot. Sorry about that. All right, 402-413-2400. Need to step aside, get a break in. Also, time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Still time. You want to be a part of the program, and we're back with everybody's weekend winners. And again, it's called Weekend Winners. So if everybody gets the concept right, we'll have those for you next.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Tonight, good pass by Kenzie. Quick attack, Caitlin Hort. Offhands Doug. Ohio State outside. Janice Moore stuffed. Husker block has shown up tonight. Whitney Lonstein, Caitlin Hort. That's about 13 feet of combined humanity.
Hey, Huskers fans. Tomorrow, join us for Sports Nightly at 6 p.m. as we break down another Nebraska football practice report. At 7, we'll hand the reins off to the Nebraska Volleyball Radio Show. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Final few minutes of the program. Times again Saturday at Bowlin.
Yeah, so 10:30 to 12:30,
Okay.
so leading up to the game. So starting at 10:30, and they'll have student athletes, alumni from each of Nebraska's women's teams. They'll participate in activities with student athletes, win prizes, learn about Title IX, and so you have to, admission is free, but registration is required.
Okay.
So Huskers.com/Title IX, not the number 9, IX, and food vendors on site. So
Sweet.
a lot of cool things going on out there.
But you do need to pre-register.
Yes.
So they kind of have to have a little bit of idea how much food that they need to be bringing to the event. It was so cool to see Christina Hoteling. You had a big hand in the Hall of Fame thing. Ali Viola was back. Great to see all those Hall of Famers.
Absolutely. That was a fun event. And yeah.
I love the hat of Bill Straub, too.
I mean, you're stealing my thunder here. That was my weekend winner.
Perfect. Good segue. There's your weekend winner.
Okay, so all of the Hall of Famers,
Okay.
but Bill Straub in particular, because he won the fashion event too.
He's so cool. He's just a cool cat.
I mean, he strolled up there, and I had never met him before, and so I started asking him questions, and boy, he brought down the house. He was hilarious the way he told stories. I would love to sit down and have a beer with that guy, because I bet he can tell some stories. And he was hilarious, but then, yeah, just the way his outfit, his fashion, all of his swagger, he won the day for me. But all of them were awesome. Got the chance to actually chat with all of them up there, a part of that, and it was really, really neat.
He always has a snappy hat. He does. That's his thing. Love the guy. He's great. I'm not sure why he retired. He's got life left in him. I don't know why he gave it up. But hey, I love Paul Klempa, too, the current bowling coach as well. Tim, what do you have?
I think it's got to be Mickey Joseph. Game ball. The reason we did that in the ticker today, for those that are on YouTube and those who listened on the radio, that scene in the locker room after the game on Saturday gave me goosebumps. I mean, I think I'm sure I'm not alone in that, but that was really cool. And Mickey getting his first win, and just the way that it turned around, and a shout out assistant. I like Bob's description of it. Our last caller. The sheriff and the deputy getting Bill Bush to the defensive coordinator role, and the difference that made this week was awesome. So.
There was the cool video of Bill's family running up to him on the field after the game. Have you seen it? It's really good.
Yes, yeah, and I just could tell Bill, I mean, how he was reacting after that meant so much to him to be able to help Nebraska win that football game. So
good.
It means the world to him.
I'm nervous.
Oh, what's Andrew going to say today?
I probably should sit out this week for my actions of last week, but
yeah, you're suspended.
But I'm obviously going to go Huskers Hoops opening night. It was a great atmosphere.
2 weeks in a row.
You picked the same winner.
Yeah. I'm still saying with it. I was so excited. It was so much fun. Like Jess said, I had so much fun with my camera out there. Waka Flocka Flame was super exciting. He was very electric, got the crowd going. So that's my weekend winner now.
Yeah, I think that was an audible. I think you guys got him into an audible there. There was a different winner we discussed.
Oh, he changed it.
I think
I
think you guys got him to change it.
I see how he's operating. I'm going Husker soccer. Great road trip for them. They get the tie Thursday night against Purdue. They shut out Indiana. Another clean sheet for our girl Sammy Houck. So they're playing some good soccer right now. Now back home, Ohio State again on Saturday at 1 o'clock at Hibner. Get out there and support that team. They're having a good season, and happy for that team.
Yeah, same. And you know, we had talked a little bit about it on Friday night. Couple of uncharacteristic mistakes by Sammy, but for her to bounce back and play the way she did on Sunday, kudos to her.
Awesome. Good for them. And that was a long road trip because they did not come back between the Thursday and the Sunday matches, so they were on the road like volleyball for a long, long time. John Cook in here tomorrow night. Tim, you said he wasn't real happy in postgame yesterday.
He's got some things to work out in practice, I think, is what the message was. And they're going to work them out, I'm sure. But we had the same conversation last year, and JB always says that you never want to peak in the fall. So they're
ranked third in the country.
Yes, but no, you do not want to be playing your best volleyball right now.
No, and there's still 2 months left. They're undefeated in league play. Back on the road for them as well this week. They go to the Michigan schools, Sparty and the Wolverines, who got in the rankings this week. Hey, folks, if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kickoff for a touchdown, you could win a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from any Woodhouse Auto Family dealership this season. Contestants chosen weekly. Go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and get yourself entered. Volleyball show tomorrow night. We'll have reaction from both coordinators tomorrow night as well. Have yourself a great night. Good night.
Get a us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory, or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.